We're there now. One movie show.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, beautiful people. How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of I'm hoping it is your favorite podcast, Controversial Topics. With your host myself, Dario Dowie. We have Rajiv Horton, Andre Bradshaw, and Xavier the Doctor on the panel.
The
Once
infamous
again, the
Xavier
girls
Doctor.
have abandoned us, and we're feeling neglected, but we're
No,
men, so
okay.
we'll power through.
Here, gentlemen, I have found some willing candidates, some very willing candidates.
Yeah, we got
Ario.
some side chicks.
Good. That's good.
Question: How do you red card the guy who holds on to the red cards?
As in,
I'm
it has
curious
to be a
because
majority vote.
I mean, there's a button here
okay,
where can just make him leave the meeting. So I guess that's something equal to red card.
I mean, you have to give the majority. If you guys
hold on.
vote for me to get a
Mhm.
red card, I have to red card myself.
Ah, yeah, we can always make this unfair right now, but let it go. No, now
As in, if
Go with
two
that.
people say yay, then
Doctor, where the fun? The two man him get red card. It's really
Hey.
that simple.
okay,
The two of the
red
same
card to me.
against you. No, get you. No, I'm just saying. We got your number. Moving on.
Hold on, I just realized something.
Mm.
Me and Bradshaw get red card, and Rajiv not getting a red card yet.
Oh
Rajiv
no,
fell asleep.
no, because Rajid fall asleep.
Because I'm on a good youth, that's why I'm gonna get a red card. I'm
Brother,
here.
you're biggest
Don't
germ.
worry,
You're biggest germ from this podcast. You thought about you're good youth.
You're a
Anyway,
good youth. I'm here. So
Good youth dead. Here.
anyway.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're continuing on the topic that we left off on last week, right? So I found the video back on Facebook. I sent it to you guys in the group. Uh, what they refer to it as the anti-man. So it's basically when parents date us. They set a certain example. So a mother would only date fuckboys. Excuse my language. Only date like deadbeats. Only date abusers or so forth. And then when they're raising their children, they're saying, "Don't be like your father. Don't be like the men I date. Don't be like your mother. Don't be like the women I date. Don't follow the example I set. Don't be like who I've brought around you all your life." And genuinely expect people, their kids to grow up and say, "Okay, sorry, I'll do as you say, not as you do." But I mean, and yeah, so it was from the Roommates podcast. And I actually wrote the notes down, I think 15 minutes before I saw the video. And I kid you not, the dude were just repeating everything I wrote. And no, like even the example where he gave with women mainly, like walking contradictions. They say they want your sons to be nice guys, but as we say, nice guys finish last.
As usual.
And if your son grows up and sees that and he knows that, why is he going to take your word and say, okay, I'm going to be the person to finish last? I'm willingly going to be the person to just go to the back of the line because I'm so nice. And just with a smile. So I'm gonna wait until she's 30, 30 something, 40, couple of kids. Probably bitter. Hopefully not.
More
But
than
probably
likely.
bitter.
More than likely.
I mean, has scars and issues, and that's when I'm going to swoop in like the knight in shining armor to save the day, or save what's left of the day.
As a very good friend of mine said, of the big KS fan in chest and a big red cape, King Simp.
Things safe.
No, but like,
That's comedy right there.
That's rough, brother. That's
yo,
rough.
Yo, bruh.
and
Rough in these streets, bruh.
I mean, it makes no sense because you're telling me that this is the kind of man I'm supposed to be because this is the kind of uh that is what women like. But I mean, psychologically speaking, a man is going to go after a woman who's probably similar to his mom. So if his mom had low self-esteem, there's a higher probability. And you're going to say, yo, be this person. But every time this kind of guy has spoken to you, or for the fathers, every time you've met this kind of woman, you don't give them the time of day, or you treat them like trash. And when the actual trash person comes along, you know, that's who you got pregnant. That's who you got pregnant for. That's who you
And I
had
said,
kids. That's who my father is. That's who my mother is.
and I say
They're the
you
ones
are
who give
who
me
you
time of
attract,
day.
you know.
Huh,
That's what
Reggie?
me. I'm saying you are who you attract.
Come back to
Attract.
this
You
again.
get me? I don't lie. Like, I just
Trash
my
attract
view.
trash.
You are who you attract. Exactly. Exactly. So if you see a mother attract be a trash, or you see a father attract be a trash, what you come do? They don't really decide. They attract trash. Just I end the cycle. Just I go right round
Yeah.
and round and round.
What is it? Oh, you work
Yeah,
hard, man. Mm-hmm.
so it,
I'm,
you have to elevate yourself. Yeah, you have to lift up yourself to a level where
Okay,
you
all
know
right.
say yo, at this and that person more be. So I'm never put myself up there for something I tell them kind of person. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, you're
so
not wrong. I mean, I
yeah,
don't disagree. To an extent, I
enough
don't
mix
disagree.
like this,
But
enough
at the
turn
same
on
time,
sunrise. I'm going on 2 years and go straight round.
All right. Hello?
oh, it looks like I'm try to talk to somebody else.
I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're talking to wife. Wait, all right.
Oh
I
no,
was
not
saying
wifey.
there are people who set good examples, like, because I mean, there are men who can pretend for very long, like while they're in the relationship, nicest guy ever. The moment you get pregnant, that's when you see his true colors. There are people who are snakes,
And
you
split.
know, are wolf in sheep's clothing, and they can
That's
hide
a
their
fact.
true character or
That's a
hide their true
fact.
purpose for like a decent little while. So like while he was getting sex or while woman was getting money or whatever. No, everything's hunky dory. But like
Um,
money will dry up or somebody gets
mhm,
pregnant or whatever. That's when you see the true
mhm.
colors. But the wise
Hold
people,
on. Can I say something?
we finish.
Oh,
The
I'm sorry.
wise people in these cases, usually learn from their mistakes. But
For
not everybody is wise.
true
And
that.
not everybody would even want to acknowledge that hey, they messed up or they have an issue, they have low self-esteem,
Lack of
they
maturity.
can do better and should do better. But
Mhm.
Lack of maturity and lack of accountability, as my good friend Bradshaw would always say.
That is the truth. Unfortunately, I wish. I didn't sound like a broken record, but I mean, if you see the problem, you know wrong with it. Why you put something different to fix it? You know what you need to do to fix it. Just and I believe this message goes both ways, regardless of who you are, man or woman. If you lack accountability and shit start reach you, you have no one to be upset with. No one you have to be upset with. I'm sorry, but that's how life works.
But
We make
but
decisions and we take the consequences as they come. That's how men and I believe back in the day, that's how everyone was raised. Men knew that there was no free pass in a life away. unless we were planning on going the other way. And our parents, mother and father, used to remind man that too. Nowadays, everything is just a dance now or a party in some people's mind. But again, I digress, you know. That's just
Uh,
my
but
viewpoint.
but
When you are trying to tell people, say, oh, no disrespect intended, sir, but that's not how a man's supposed to behave. Man, quick for and kill you now. Shoot. One time used to be a conversation or an argument. Now a gunshot will reach you. You know, for tell him, say him wrong. Are you serious?
apparently voicing your opinion is the biggest sin of all. But my thing is though, to both genders, it takes two to make a relationship. So where do people get off blaming one person for all the wrongs? I'm not saying that if that person did you wrong, that they shouldn't be held accountable for what they did, But are you really that disingenuous to not say that, there are certain scenarios or certain cases where, I could have handled a certain situation better in the relationship? Like, and I can give a real life.
You don't want to make sure some see you go in. Let me hear. Sorry.
You forgot to press mute again.
Again, life goes on. We have to carry on.
Yo, right. Yo, man, I feel rip, Bradshaw. Bradshaw would have been one of them stand-up comedian where eat the day in the script and the man just say, fuck it, let's just roll with it.
What? Yo. No, that's Jim Carrey. Even though he is considered one of my favorite comedians, no. I mean, I swear to God, I thought this thing was mute for a second. You let me hear the feedback like, oh, and Brad, oh, I thought I mute this bastard. My bad, continue.
It's fine.
I'm here now. Like, I'm here now.
But,
okay.
But I keep on here, especially in our country, Jamaica. Like, it's not right. Especially young couples, like, when someone does wrong, yeah, man, they fuel their anger towards that and everything breaks apart. When they go tell their little friend at our boss, say, yeah, man, the dirty boy, this and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man, you never do nothing wrong, miss. Or the man at our boss say, yeah, man.
Still, she's gone through like 10 different dirty boys in a year.
Oh, man. I mean, I put it so like she go through a whole football team.
Okay, I can see where you're heading, sir. You can't see what you look for. Let me see what you look for, Mr. Xavier. Let me see what you look for.
Yeah. What did I do this time?
Go on, continue.
Oh my God.
What me do? What did I say wrong?
Yes, bro. Okay. You couldn't just take you couldn't take that. You couldn't take that illustration. No, you had to go further. Even I was like, really, bro? Really? That was a really bro moment right there, bro. Continue. I'm just saying.
Yo, we have at least 3 savage moments in each podcast. We did 2 so far. I'm just saying.
You're the first one, the Rasta.
Earlier when Mr. King Sim.
Oh yes. Good stuff.
But am I wrong though?
No.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, no. Yo, honestly, forgive me for saying this. I honestly sometimes wish we were wrong, Honestly, I wish we were wrong. And I think this was always been my problem when I grew up. At 14 coming up, I saw the problems what people couldn't see. And it was weird because I'm 14 years old and talking like I'm 32. But I never know, so I came into my adult way of thinking early. So when a little boy, as them call me, I tell them, say, that man and that girl is not on your page. What you know? You just born yesterday, you know nothing? Okay. So said, so done. And this has happened not once, not 2. It got so bad that I purposely avoided trying to help people when it comes to relationships, or if not relationships, just the obvious cues, because them say it's not what you say, it's what you don't say. And I think that's something that most people are not taught. It's not what you say, because you can say anything. It's what you're not saying that people should look at.
It's about transparency, not being open.
Oh yes, man. Believe me. A person will say yes, and their body language screams no. Because all right, there was this program called Lie to Me. It was a series called Lie to Me, where this doctor, his mother committed suicide, but it was his job to diagnose people who had mental illness, and his mother under his nose committed suicide, and he watched hours and hours of tapes and videos trying to figure out where he went wrong. But the more he watched it, the more the body has tells. And them say like for guys who play poker, it's the same thing with everybody, men or women. Some people when they're lying, they do absurd things. The statement don't sound correct. So many things. I'm just saying.
But it's quite funny how every quote that we go across in life states that the truth a is a hard pill, but a lie is a beautiful truth or some
Oh,
nonsense like that. And
oh,
you,
the lies
I,
of placebo.
I'll be the first to put my hand up and say I used to be one of those person like yo hearing the truth. No, because the truth was just so hard to hear. But then something has to click eventually. Yeah, your brain's supposed to click eventually at a time. I mean, some people to this day them still can't accept the truth. God help them, cause me not help them. But a time has to come when you have to really sit down and look at yourself and say, yo,
You
so
know,
maybe
accept reality.
exactly. But apparently we want to live on Wattpad and be fantasized.
Sir, again.
No, say across the Dario. What you doing? Red card yourself again.
Eh,
Need a second vote.
exactly.
So
Just
brother,
record
so
yourself,
brother,
man. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, man.
well, yes, yes.
Well,
The justice.
uh, Hush. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I just find it weird, you know, that I mean, believe it or not, before Dario called me, me and my wife were having a heart to heart, and I was actually telling her, say, this is the problem I realize with society, because of society and the social cues, you only saw when you were unhappy. You never saw when I was unhappy. Why you think that? She goes, because I was in my emotion. I'm like, no. Not only that, think hard. The things you watch, you realize that these men only speak to themselves. The women can't hear a word when they're trying to speak, even if it's something that the woman themselves tell them to do. I've watched that those shows like Love and Hip Hop, Housewives of Atlanta,
Ah,
and I mean I've watched where one episode the wife told the man to do it. He did it. She went out, did some errands. Couple hours later, she come back and asked, "Why it look that way?" Dude said, "You told me to do it." And this woman was ready to take God off of the cross. So this man, he's lying and he's so petty. Why he can't just confess he made a mistake? And then the camera crew record when she actually said it word for word. And dude asked her again to confirm it. But when it came back around, no accountability. Even after she got mad, she stormed out. He's lying. He's lying. And I don't mind. I mean, a big scene in it and gotten her feelings, tears. And when the producer finally walked over to her and like, sure, the clip where she said it. And when he asked again and she said it again, she goes, oh, well, he should have been more direct. Again, removing
wow,
accountability for
wow,
what she do. And I'm like, what
wow.
the hell? I said, I'm a man and then watch this same show. My wife sit down and watch for hours sometimes. And I'm like, yo, I must tell you something that you probably won't agree with. The things that you watch, dictate the way how you approach anything. And she's like, yo, but the shows that you watch from say, yeah, but they're rooted in facts. They're rooted in facts. I don't watch, programs because the higher your intellect gets, you know when you're listening to garbage. You know when you're listening to garbage. You know when this person is half-assing the truth.
This
Man
kind
or
of
woman.
this kind of coincides with what me and Doc were talking about yesterday. When I say men are illusionists and women are delusional, or women are delusional and men are what? Illusion.
Illusionist.
Is that a word?
Yes,
Illusionist.
Like,
Yes.
so like, if I even use like Kevin Samuels or like, like a Kevin Samuels kind of conversation, when a man is called out on his bullshit, it's always like the reaction from my observation is like, oh, I knew what I was saying is bullshit, but I was hoping that you wouldn't realize. That's the illusions, because he knows it's fake. He knows it's a facade. He knows it's crap. But I say women are delusional because whenever you point out stuff to them, most of them genuinely seem confused. Like, wow, what I was saying was wrong. I didn't know that. Like, that's always that's my observation. That's always the reaction.
I was going to give more context because Kevin Samuel said something that I also have experimented with as well. Sometimes people, it's not about the big questions for if someone is lying to you. Sometimes a simple question you have to ask. And then if they can make sense of what you're saying, you're like, well, on there. If you understand the simple analogy, why is it so difficult understanding the man and the woman's analogy? The fact is, just because I changed wording, you understood the principle. That's the main part. That's unjust. And you want to yeah, oh my God. When you reach an arm game and the you wonder what go on in them head. And he and have you ever had a conversation, gentlemen, when you know that they've lost already?
Yep.
But they rather go down with the ship.
At that point in the convo,
They rather go down with the ship.
me just stop.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Right
but
now?
I mean, it's not
At
only
that
with
point,
Kevin Samuels. I mean, it's
It's
just
not about
overall
Kevin
with
Samuels.
life. Even
Life.
I mean, when we did the first series on relationships, again, with my same friend who said she wanted a nice gentleman to date or whatever, a man who treats her good. And when I pointed out to her that, why do you want a gentleman, but even when I do gentlemanly things, like giving up my seat to a woman on the bus when I was sitting beside you, you had an issue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that a gentleman would do.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with me doing it as your friend, how would you how are you going to react if your boyfriend does it? And it's like I discovered fire. She was so dumbfounded. And that is the usual thing with women. I'm wondering, how is it that they don't realize these things?
Feminism.
They live in their own little bubble most of some, not all of them, but
Feminism.
a good amount.
Well,
98%.
True. Well, on. Even for those who don't subscribe to feminism, they hold on to feminist belief systems and don't even know it.
Yep.
That's the weird part.
Okay.
You can hold on to narcissistic. People hold on to
Please
narcissistic
don't go too
traits.
deep because we'll have to do feminism next time.
They immediately get offended. And I know women who have narcissistic traits. It's not just men alone are narcissistic. I know women who lack empathy. Empathy. Something we're supposed to flow out a woman more than man. I'm just saying. Men are more empathetic. Yeah? Well, men are more sympathetic to me. Men are more sympathetic, women are more empathetic. This is why women can quickly understand why she did it. A man can be sympathetic if him say the reason behind your logic.
Yeah.
Logic. That's the difference between me and we and women. A woman will use her emotion and develop empathy, even if it's wrong. All right. I'm not trying. All right. Sorry for swing the conversation. Let me go somewhere about accountability and where Kevin Samuel said something and my wife proved it. This is why I try to tell her to watch Kevin Samuel, because a lot of the bad things that you practice, you exhibit, you show it and don't even know you're showing it, right? I don't want to use too much big word, cause I mean, I get it. All the four away, we head up our shoulder, but you don't want your audience say, "Oh my God, it's like a dick measuring contest." Again, so anywho, back to me, I
Like
say, right?
what now?
Yo, I'm born one time and I repeat myself. Anyways, moving on. If you miss it, you miss it. Moving on. So the point me I try to make, right? Megan Thee Stallion, when she and her boyfriend, 5'1", this girl is like 5'11". Megan is a tall female and she's wearing heels. She's at least 6'1". So we're talking about somebody literally a full foot taller than her boyfriend. She got drunk and decided she didn't like the fact that the girl that she invited out to hang out with, she and her man and them friend. Her man was being a good guest and just simple conversation. Who said simple conversation? Nothing flirtatious. What the music is whack, blah 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 blah. That's what we go so and so. Simple conversation. Megan though took up the buckle, was drunk with, and beat the man. Beat him up. Friends very present. Patrons very present. Security very present. Nobody did anything. Wailing on this grown ass man just because she's taller than him, just because she's thicker than him, because she's a stallion. So her, and that's the next thing too. Oh my God, I don't recommend anybody giving a woman any form of anything that signifies male, because when someone calls themselves a stallion, that's normally a title given to a man, not a woman. I know, right?
Well, it
2021.
depends on who wears the pants in the relationship.
Sir, and people feel honest. A stallion is a wild horse, Most people don't even know what that means.
An untamed horse.
It's a wild horse.
Cannot be tamed, will never be stopped.
Exactly. And then you have, and then no, hold on. No. So she's whooping his ass, beat him up. Friends present, his friends, her friends, their entourage, the girl who she invited. They all stood there and watched me gonna beat him for the longest while. This guy draws his gun and shoots her in the leg. Them time everybody rush. Dog, what that for?
Oh, yes. So
I'm like,
that's why everybody went to lambast him. Now it makes sense.
So while she was wailing on him, she didn't know there was no need for a camera. There was no need for a video. There's no need for somebody stepping and say, Megan, yo, what y'all do? Everybody kept silent because what? Because the chick beating a guy. And they've had social experiments where they've had actors where the guys are sitting there being cozy and the woman will start cussing. Cussing and the man will start. I'm like, he's trying to be apologetic. Now, I said, sorry. I don't know why you're upset. The women that walked past while he was getting scolded, most of them either smirk, smile, shoot. One even high five is like to punch guy like, yeah, suck it guys. He's a little puny woman and he's this big, muscular man. But I'm like, something don't make sense here. How can this tiny lady be, scolding this grown 6 foot something, 270 something pound man? I'm like, this is unprecedented. I've never seen this before. I will take that back. I have seen this before, but not in that context. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And the fact says, people, both men and women, walked past, and this woman was cursing him out. Nobody stopped and said, yo, y'all need to take a chill pill. Yo, you can't be doing that. Every woman smiled and smirked when she accosted this big Trapton man because, fight the patriarchy. That don't make no sense. It makes no sense no matter how you try to spin it. Society couldn't exist if it wasn't for the patriarchy. Everything around me was made by a man. I'm sorry. I am so sorry that I offend somebody. But even the beautification of the trees were planted on the roadside. I've never seen a female present ever. If a telephone pole is down, I
Two
don't
words.
see none. I'm being honest. When cables are run, when the AC are fixed, when the lights are run, when the wall are go up. You know, when I normally see women, when it's simple jobs like directing traffic, when it's like picking up the remains of the boxes, that's when you actually see women on a construction site or for any project. You know, them get the easiest job them. And I know there's a push for it, more women in STEM, and I'm for that. But a 12-year-old was ready to fight me. A 12-year-old little girl was ready to. I tell you that about not a little girl. A 12-year-old, 5'10" 10. Yeah, she's tall. But
Welcome to
so she's
puberty.
trying to first.
I
So
want some of y'all steroids so I can continue growing.
oh my God, no, I mean she come from.
As if you're not big enough already.
See, her mother is like 5'11", and her daddy look like him now, 6 foot. She's still growing at age 12. I'm like, wow, you're still growing? Wow. So I hope you hit your maximum height soon, because you're gonna have problem with. Yeah. Anyway, hold on. Hold on. All right. This is all right. Long story short, this is the part where I'm trying to get out. Right. The conversation that pursued between me and this young lady. When I remember, if she was only 4 years older, she would have been on this podcast. Oh my God. When I say this young lady could hold her own, I was impressed. Sir, we are going all over the world in terms of intellect. We're talking about Marxism, socialism, we're talking about communism, we're talking about, America way back in the and I'm just saying, it was fascinating. But when it came down to that one point about STEM, she got so emotional, and I'm like, oh. I said, love, do you want to know the real figures as it relates to women that actually not only are in STEM jobs, or better yet, stay in STEM jobs? Because I know women, though, who have gotten their engineering degree. You know, most of them I don't know. Florist, daycare worker. Then realize, and then you know what she said? She's like, oh, she don't know why they make it so hard. I'm like, well, you're competing against men. What did you think it was going to be? And she's like, well, I mean, they can just set the rule. No, 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 no. She's like, why? I'm like, because no one invited you to the party. You came on your own. So because you don't like the music, do you think the whole house is going to change the song just because you don't like it? Or a group of your friends don't like it? No. You'll have to
That
learn to
just
roll
sound
with the punches.
entitled.
Yeah, but I told she doesn't know, because that's the world she grew up in. So when a man actually, I have to tell her, I say, as a fellow engineer, nobody's going to give you a hand, nobody's going to give you a leg in. And this is one, and because she's 12, you don't want to really explain, the
So
dark
much.
sides of
Yeah.
said world. Because people act as if women don't use their, their come again to their advantage. They use their looks to their advantage. I'm not saying it's a good way to look at it, but it's an advantage. When I was in college, I knew a girl who was doing things to make sure when she missed a couple weeks of class, she would seek certain professors, and she would be caught up by the end of the month. I'm not calling any names, but we all know what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Trust me, I went to
Happen.
UA.
and I know
I know
someone
that.
said,
Dad,
maybe,
I went
maybe
to
she
UA.
maybe she
I
caught
know
up.
that for a fact.
Hold
I
on,
want
and
to.
then for those, hold
Try
on,
to
and for
come to me,
those of you
tell
who
me
would
to my
say,
face.
well,
Hey,
maybe she caught up. Maybe she just buckled down for the thing. No, she didn't. No, she
She
didn't.
buckled down, all right.
No, she
She
didn't.
Virgin,
buckled down.
hold on, no,
No,
hold on, no.
she.
My first semester,
My God, no, she didn't.
hold on, my first semester, I failed statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go into we'll get a remark. So we'll go into the
Mm-hmm.
lecturer or the tutor's office or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This girl look on and say, "Hey, even though I'm here first, you three go before me because I need to get an A by any means necessary." So like what?
Wow!
By any means necessary, because my mother's not
She
paying for
really
this
said
school.
that. She really
I'm
said
going
that.
to do it over. So you guys go before me, yeah? And my girl just lean back and chilling.
You know,
And she
Nusha,
said this with a straight face, no laughing, no nothing.
She
sir,
did what she
you
had
went
to
wrong.
do.
You did.
She
You went
did what
about.
she had to do.
Y'all should have went. Y'all should have made she go first. Then you should have going after. You know why? Cause he's so happy. He'll be so relaxed. He'll be so easy to negotiate when a man feels so relaxed. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm being very selective with my words, gentlemen. Show me some credit. Anyways, moving
Big up
forward.
yourself. Big up yourself. Cause you know, get we not make Brad. We not see no hashtag cancel Bradshaw on no social media network. Never. You see me? Anyway, me see that. Me burn down that.
Why don't come out your mouth?
No, but
Why?
you. No, but we can serious though, Bradshaw. If ever I ever see that, them have me I go take them on and them have take it down one way or the other. Don't talk.
Thing is that we are Jamaicans there. Most of the cancel culture people are American.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Remember
not
where
No,
he
really sure how they're going to cancel us.
remember where he live.
some of them are Jamaican too. Believe that. Yeah, yeah. I was shocked too when I found out. Some of the cancel culture
Yeah, them the count.
from Yard, Trinidad. You'd be surprised how many
We
No,
Haitians,
disown them.
Trinidad doesn't Trinidad
sir,
shouldn't
how
surprise me, but
Haitians are in cancel culture. I was shocked out of my mind.
Haitians that's
In a
unsurprising.
cancel culture too.
So
I was like, what? Just saying, bro.
Let's cancel hypocrites.
me not me not oi, now tell I still brother and Dario Rajiv. Remember one time I did call out a lecturer for do some illicit activities because the thing for me was this man I was just the start of COVID, right? When
Mm,
COVID just came to Jamaica.
mm,
And I had 5 courses outstanding. I will get one assessment for complete for all 5 of them. So all 5. There's a examination key you're supposed to use to go through one program for make sure no plagiarism, all of that.
yep.
For the lecturer send me the key personally because they say, yo, Mr. Doctor, yo, you're a good student, blah blah blah. You've been working hard, we know, so yo, you don't have it. And but done this up. This a brother you know. Tell me say, oh, he doesn't know where to get the key from. So I say, sir, no, you are the lecturer, just ask the administrator. Give me one bag of shit. Somebody else tell him, sir, may I send it to your email. Done this, I say, oh, everything good. Fast forward last year, 2020, when I was thinking that I was going to graduate. When I thought about how, even if I send it to his email, what was he going to do about it? Man sat in front of me and my mother, you know.
Yo.
So all I know. So instantly the lava start bubble up a little bit because you don't know me ignorant when it comes to certain things. And then the man, I thought about how, when my mother tries to explain something to me now, the man start get bright and feisty with her, so the lava start go up a little bit more. You see when I see the man, 2 favorite students who just happen to be female come across and the man have a big bright smile, I just couldn't help it. Even just 2 I'm say, yes man. When Pum Pum run around here ready to come and smile, but when they come to give man the grade, they can't do it. Keep in
Well
mind,
said.
keep in
Well
mind,
said.
the principal, the principal walk past and hear me. The man literally walk and the man say, wait, back up a little bit. And the man look for me and say, Mr. Doctor, and I say, yeah. The man just
Mm.
walk. The man walk off because most of the lecturers, the female netball lecturer was there and she look for me and she said, oh boy, then get for Mr. Doctor bad side again. And Mr. Bird look for me and say, yo, my bright and face. And I say, yes, I am. Because you're a piece of shit and you're disingenuous. So when jail
Well done, my boy.
smile.
Well done.
No,
But
it's a hell of a thing when you make a quiet man start talk.
All right.
Brother, now we know how
That's
me
a problem.
never used to talk a
That's a
lot
problem.
when just did it. But he ain't just get on top of my nerves to see this bullshit that happen in
And
front of me again.
one of the good things is, you see, because Doctor is a quiet man, if you make him start talking, the first thing that pops into everyone's head, what did you do wrong?
Yeah, that was me, cause no, but I was a good child. I still am. I think I still am. My vocabulary has changed a lot, but I still am a good guy.
Giving him this sideways look though.
What?
Me wonder why me and Daryl I have this similar sideways look. I said, wait, did he just say that?
Uh,
I'm
yes. No,
Daryl.
yes, yeah, question, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. From you've
Yes,
known
sir.
me, thanks to rugby. Have you ever heard of me fighting or beating up anybody? Have you ever
No.
heard of me starting anyone? Have you ever heard? The most you'll hear Andre Bradshaw do is play Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. Like that was the only thing I was guilty of. The only thing the vice principal knew me for. Never disrespect a teacher. Never come school late. Never. You understand me? The only thing I would, because they didn't understand it, and Casey was a Catholic or not Catholic Anglican school. So
Yeah.
once it have monsters on the card, it's demonic. Once they see a monster drawing, because my
Because you
favorite deck,
believe in the heart of the cards.
I know that, I know that. My deck was zombie, and my ace monster was a monster called Ryokoki. He was literally a
Miracle
bone
is a killer.
zombie, literally a bone zombie. So try to explain that to the vice principal, who is way up in age, and she's like, "Are you gambling?" I'm like, "No, it's a strategy game, ma'am. It actually supposed to help your brain get." Cause I won't lie, Yu-Gi-Oh! At first it
It
was
makes you
that
think.
it made you think. It made you think 2, 3 steps ahead if you know what you're doing. But as the game progressed, it got more ridiculous. Like, I didn't even know that regular traps don't even use like that anymore.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
called hand traps now, and magic cards. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, nobody use regular trap cards anymore. Like Mirror Force. Do you remember when that card came out that way? It
Mirror
was
Force
so
is one of the
expensive.
greatest trap
We're
cards in
talking
the history of trap cards.
1,500. I remember one year, right? It was like $1,500 for one Mirror Force. Harmer bought this the Sheen Pay site for like 400, and him literally have to search back a card to make theme version of them. I'm like, wow. And for live for Mirror Force, no value now.
We've
Live
gone
for
too far off track.
live, yeah. It was gone off track.
Listeners, you have to just do. We have this moment where we just have to look back at some things that we
Yes, you
hold dear to us.
understand.
Oh, yo, I
It
still play
ended
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fine. I
Online
get it.
though.
I get it. I get it. I get it. All right.
I still
Moving
play
on, man.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Online though.
No,
Them say?
I don't have a problem, Bradshaw, because I mean, looking back at some stuff, it's good to like have those memories because I mean, if you forget them, like what was the point of
I
you
mean,
experiencing it in the first place?
Yeah,
hold
the
on.
nostalgia.
Hold on a pause a second. Let me show you how it's dangerous trying to please people. And no offense, ladies, please, because I've known many men who have literally put themselves on the back burner in their own lives to please women, and 9 out of 10, or no, I'm not saying 9,
Um,
8 out of 10, I have very bad results for most of the guys who did that. And these are men, and these are good men. I'm not going to say, well, you don't know them like that. For the most part, I knew them well enough that they wouldn't go to them with a disrespect the woman like some man. So, like I said, good men. Them not cheat, them not disrespect, them not raise them hand, pay them bill, them take care of them women. Good men. And the problem was these men fell in love. I know, right? Wow, I can't believe it. He said that, yes, they fell in love. And because they fell in love, they followed the disneyfication version of love,
good
which I
lord.
unfortunately it does exist. Some people won't agree to that, but it does. And most men, just like women, and this blame is shared. We're not gonna pretend like is just women alone. Men suffer from this BS too. A lot of men suffer from it because these were guys who were on their ball. You understand me? Sharp, fit. My brother abs a print out through the marina. You understand me? I try to tell you. These are the kind of men these guys were. Most of them were athletes. 8 out of 10 of them don't look like themselves anymore. 8 out of 10 of them, it have husband body like what me a fight off now. You understand me? Me a fight this with my very soul. You must see, sir. I want my body back so bad. Right now, it's just radiating out of my aura. I run God gym now. But so yeah, back to the point. I know good men who literally put their purpose on the back burner to put their woman in front of them. I've known a few who have resorted to very not so pleasant, actions based on what happened to them. I don't condone violence. I don't condone destruction of property. I don't believe none of that. You're a grown ass man. You should have known what you're getting yourself. For once, ladies, I agree with you. You should have known where you get yourself involved with Rasta. Because for men, life, no safety cushions. When a man goes down, he goes down. There is no pick you up center. There's somebody there to help him pick up the pieces when his life is completely ruined. So you are correct, ladies. Men have to pay attention to what they are getting themselves involved with. So I don't blame you. I don't blame any woman when a man puts himself on the back burner and gets taken advantage of. But yeah, moving on.
Moving right along.
Yep.
So, all right. So, with what we spoke about, the topics for last week and what we just spoke about, the anti-man idea. I was kind of picking on women because, and this is a theory, controversial opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If women were to wise up and only date decent men, do you think all men would start to become decent? What the hell was that?
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So do you guys think if women chose to only date decent men, like not just women will say it, and then just be with some players and some footballers,
Mm-hmm.
like genuinely only were attracted to decent men, like they say on social media, and actually did it in real life. You think they could have influenced all men or all heterosexual men to be decent?
I mean, in a fantasy world, maybe.
In an idealistic world.
Yeah. In an idealistic world, maybe it could be possible. Because,
What idealistic world? The other strict universe of the boss?
Something like that, youth.
Eh?
Why you not pay attention? What is wrong with you?
Must not.
What is wrong with you, my youth? Mr. Me, yes, boy, does it stay, man?
Were you
I'm
listening to
just
anything
saying
legit?
Oi,
what
man
were
just
they talking
the
about?
man coming like Deadpool, he just pop up whenever.
And may I ask a simple question?
Brother, we
question
are talking about planet Earth. We're not talking about the rest of dimensions are out there we want to discover yet.
Alright, so continue with your point.
Yo, yes, man.
So yeah, I'm piggybacking this idea of what I'm saying, twins of twins. I don't remember if it was volume 10 or 11. But if women decide that they're going to close them legs to all gangsters and bad man, the church wouldn't have space for the amount of decent man in the world. So I'm saying, you think with the level of with the power of influence that women have,
Mm-hmm.
do you think if they genuinely dated only decent men or only good men, do you think they could influence most, if not all, heterosexual men to actually be good or decent?
It would impact on to me a big level. It would to me, but again, that's up for debate. I think it would. Um, Given the society that we are in, where people are easily influenced,
Yep. I was just about to say that.
very easily influenced. Like, like, have you seen the challenges? Like, I'm not swaying into like people subscribe to mediocre challenges that Tide Pod challenge. Grown people eating Tide Pods.
And
But
then them try
honestly,
to cook
but
Tide.
Make
honestly,
that make sense.
honestly, me not think that would have be like
But yet it did.
me not
But
think it would
yet
have
it
worked.
did. That's the point, though, dog.
But no, me not talk
Yet
about the
it
Tide
did.
Pod thing. Me not talk about the Tide
Oh
Pod
my
thing. Me
God,
talk
I was
about
shocked like
me
when I
talk
found
about the
out.
question that Dario posed.
Oh,
I don't think it would. I think honestly, in my opinion, I think would have caused more violence against women in a sense because someone just not make a change. Someone make a bit overall. Someone not make a change are better themselves. They make a bit wrong. So if I put it away there and say if females stop date a certain type of man and start be a man
ah,
where decent and some in my opinion,
all right,
you're gonna
I'm
see
guessing
more
something
violence against a man
that's it.
because if
Okay.
the woman then not talk to them or not give them the attention what them want. To me, all I would know almost Jamaican man still when them call to a woman and the woman answer them. You get me? Then get all hostile and go on the most way.
Yeah, but that's not the
So
majority though.
Exactly. That's
it
the
is
point me
not,
about.
but
That
that's
me
what
that
I'm
I try to
saying.
say
But this
because
is what me I say. If them
mm,
stop, if females decide to yo well stop talking these kind of men and start talk to men they uplift themselves, it in my opinion it will still arise again with violence against women in a sense. You get me? Not
see,
me not say female to lower than standard and talk to man when no one like right. But I'm just saying. If I put it like that, there is it will cause some form of problem. You get me?
Yeah, but how much problem? Because that would, I mean, it would only cause a huge problem if a huge majority of men were just naturally abusive from day one.
exactly.
That's not the case.
But some man abusive
If
from
Exactly.
day
if
one
eighty
and
percent of
do
men
it
are not
about it.
abusive, then common sense would dictate, or statistics would dictate, that 80% of men wouldn't have an issue with it.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
then with that boxing the person them who have the issue and that alienate them because badness, yo, at the 90s let badness get the biggest, to me, the biggest hype it ever get. The 90s. Because that's when dancehall start like, bringing, and I'm not throwing this alone on dancehall, but influence
Sir,
was influence.
dancehall was just a reflection of what was actually happening,
Exactly.
not an
Exactly.
honestly, and
influence.
he's not dancer. Are they politician then?
Dancehall is a
One like to
reflection, not
say
an
I
influence.
No, no,
politician
no,
then.
no. Hold on. Me I talk about the
I
90s music,
politician
but that
then make
no, me I talk about
right.
90s music. Me I talk about 90s music where enough man in the 90s did start embrace badness. Because them say the woman them well on there. If the artists them that par with the bad man and them a see the artists a par with the bad man and the girl them a flap the artist, but to the extension you can't run the artist and the artist friend now have a girl. I'm just talking, just saying, sorry. But that's what we are talking about. So you as the man on the outside looking in, you see the artist a smoke, a drink, and a bag of girls around the bad man and the artist click for the whole how long? So you as all man who grew up in a decent household, you see that, what do you think you're gonna start promote? Because you realize that's where I draw the attention, and some people get corrupted. That's how people get corrupted.
True.
I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, if all right, let me ask you a question. Why dancehall not sing nothing positive? And the few who do sing positive songs, why it doesn't amount to, if you know we are saying, why nobody no want to hear positive music? Cause dancehall can switch the narrative, and dancehall used to do it. And I like say dancehall was a straight gun, drugs and sex. We all know dancehall song from back in the day where man a
Yeah, it was
DJ.
about dancing, about sex and having fun.
No, but well, on the dancehall, Professor Nuts was dancehall. But the thing say about just boxer again, boy, the brother boxer again, and we all laughed at that. But it was dancehall, right? There was different levels of facet. Dancehall used to be traveling to America. I mean, you understand? That was dancehall. Was super cat. But how the narrative gets so cut? Like, even if we talk about going to the States now, it don't even mean nothing no more in a dancehall. That used to be a big thing back in the day, right? I'm just saying. I might be wrong, you know. So
Again, for me, I think it's just a reflection and not an influence.
hmm.
I was like, all right, look at Sean Paul's music in comparison to Idonia's music or Bounty Killer's music. Like the lyrics, the content, the like the narrative, not the narrative, what the
Mhm.
songs are pushing.
You
Because
want to know?
Sean
Do
Paul already push a
you,
narrative, but
mhm. Do you
what does
want to
he
know?
sing about that is different? You
Mhm.
don't hear Sean Paul because of Sean Paul's upbringing, his background and so forth. He doesn't really focus much on guns and violence, or like even like a John Legend in comparison to Little Wayne. It's what he knows, it's what he feels, it's what he can relate to. So
Mhm.
that's what he sings. Or even if
Yeah,
they grew up in the ghetto, it's what resonates with them. So that is just my opinion on it. What's up with the coffin, fam? Do I need a man?
Corona. Corona.
Boy, don't run and joke there, you know. Mine, Go Corona.
I ain't arguing with nobody.
No, no, I know you better that, Brasha. Boy, Rajiv me a trap boat.
It's dirty, stinking Rajiv.
Come on, Brasha. I'm not that wicked. I mean, I'm bad, but not that bad.
Hey,
Anyway,
remember say me the good one, you know. I'm the good one.
Man,
I am the good
you're germs. Stop it.
you're the sneaking one.
Okay, yeah, we're saying all the way.
Okay, so yeah, I was saying if we look at Sean Paul's music in comparison to like Idonia or a Bounty Killer or a John Legend in comparison to a Little Wayne, what they sing about is basically as I said, is a reflection of
Mm-hmm.
what how they grew up, what they've experienced, what they know. Some of them might have grown up in similar or even exact same circumstances, but they would still start to try to sing what resonates with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you both grew up in poverty and ghetto and I think we call it the projects in the states, violence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you were just a genuinely positive person and you end up becoming a musician, singer, whatever, then positivity is what resonates with you. You might end up singing about love, relationships, whatever. Maybe you were a womanizer as opposed to a gangster growing up in the
Mm-hmm.
projects. So Woman is your thing. Love is your thing. Affection is your thing. Whereas Little Wayne would go like the gangster route.
Fair.
Or if you grew up uptown, like I think Sean Paul did, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, his songs are more like party songs, just to have fun about girls and just, having a good time. In comparison to Bounty Killers, Warlord, Done Business, everybody did kind of thing. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Well, um, based on what most people understand, right? Dancehall, it serves its purpose. It always has, it always will. I just think as it relates to how, you know, society is trying to put this all on it, it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I also believe that dancehall plays some, not all, because believe it or not, the quickest way to learn is through hearing it over and over and over again
True.
than seeing it. How many times do you sit down and watch one video 12 times, no? Or you sit down and listen one song all 5 times, no?
Hmm,
You
five
leave it on
hours.
loop. You will put it on loop on your phone. Or you put it on loop on
Mm-hmm.
your whatever, right? Your system. I will play it for the whole day. You hear the
True.
song at least 25 times. And before the day done, you can sing it word for word as if you wrote it with whoever singing. So to sit back and say it doesn't affect in any way is a bit disingenuous in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm not going to sit back and pretend like, I grew up in the Garrison band, Painland born and grow. For those who know where that there. You understand me? But I can see where music turned a lot of good young men, promising young men, because I, I've even interviewed a few, you know, and one of them look for me who's a big one in it, who right now he's living on borrowed time. So boy, I'm sorry, we listen to Bounty Killer them and those are the words that came out of his mouth. Him did sorry, him did follow them. Now listen to me now. Him did sorry, he followed them.
Yeah.
So to sit back and say music though, and this dude was a mathematician. You hear what I just say? He was a mathematician. That was one of the gifted ones, if you understand what that means though. He was
Yep.
one of the gifted ones, which means you can give him the equation and him don't need pen and paper to do it. Him can do it in his head. I'm like, wow, how you make your life reach yourself? Him say, yo, when him that grew up, kid, I was the hottest thing on, nobody no want to look on the nerd. And I know that sounds so cliche because it does happen. You just don't hear it talk about like that. Good youth who have good degree. All right, what do you think Carter singing that song? Them say, good girl, have a college degree. She start sell her body till she start get free. That line meant something, but most people overlook what the song was saying. There's a lot of gems where dancehall actually enlighten people to do. So I'm just saying, I'm not stupid. Me know dancehall serves its purpose. But to sit back and act like the dancehall didn't influence. Hold on there. Don't we remember Casey when the cartel and my father were that one, right?
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Whole
Cartel and my
classrooms were
father
divided.
war and how much man get stabbed up and how much man get murdered because of two artists who not do that. It feel like you're a pastoral community. And if one side is a Gaza, if it's a Gaza, or one side is a gully, if it's a gully, so you can make it through the community and down dead.
True.
Some man can do that
And they've
pretend like
never met the
it
artist.
exists. Oh yes, it does. To sit back and say music, yeah, dancehall music, didn't influence a whole heap of foolishness. You are to lie.
Trust me. When then I
Yeah, the
burnt
one
it, when
itself.
then I burnt it, I'm Moby, brother.
Huh?
I was in the brunt of the war, I'm Moby. Trust me.
Okay.
Ghana College.
My
Brother man,
11th, no, my
brother
11th grade classroom was
brother man,
divided
Ratchet, hold on,
Oi,
into
man
Gully and
oi,
bring
Gaza.
oi,
a man bring whole bag full of
oi.
T square, and then the wood. You remember don't have metal shop, right?
Yep.
Okay, them have a grinding stone, and the man them bevel the T square from both side, which to me stupid as hell. How the hell do you hold on to it to chop a man? But yet he learned how to do it. So yes, sir. Yes, dancehall does have power. And to say that crap that can't do nothing to them, I lie that. Wickedest lie I could ever tell. And I won't be that hypocrite. I'm sorry.
Oi, brother.
It serves its purpose. But to say it doesn't or it
I was
didn't,
some things for
I
me.
never cause. Yo,
I some
remember
things.
by now. Oh, sorry. Sorry. But that's
Man,
it. Uh-huh.
I just say that some things for me see. I can't college. Brother,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I was 11th grade, brother. Some of my classmates, them the money divided from 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I was the one on the fence. Come here, say, I don't particularly, I never liked my father. Not because of any ill will to him, but he just
Yeah.
wasn't my type of artist. I mean, Cartel, I was on the fence with him too. Come here, say, yo, so my things and one the man I try to propagate, I can't agree with it. But his music was catchy.
Oh, yes, it
But
was.
me remember one day, like, say, yo, the man when they argue. And as usual, Xavier Doctor, quiet. We get up and start cuss. I'm say, yo, brother, what all of this for? Of course, about two artists I couldn't give a rat's ass about none of them. At the
Exactly.
end, at the end of the day, I look back on it now. I say it even recently in our class group what we make with most of the money was still living. Yeah, living. I tell the man, I say, brother,
Well,
what?
sorry,
Eh?
sorry to cut you. Let me show
Yeah.
you how dancehall influential, right? Cartel that sing when I'm sang them, I'm say, yo, big up the school where me come from, other Calabar. You see that one line when Cartel go drop? You see for the year when Cartel he make that song there? Oh my God, every all girls school was all over Calabar.
But
Oh, like I hated them that year.
you
Oh,
didn't.
half a tree reeked of the bastards. I couldn't stand a bone now. And remember, I was doing karate and half of the gyms a bar and half of the gyms a karate. So KC. So we frequently fought a lot. We hurt each other a lot. Yeah, I'm just saying. But cartels words and then it got so bad that when the Gully and Gaza war started, Calabar had to publicly distance himself from Vibes Cartel. Yeah. And to
I
say that,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Music have influence, especially dancehall music. But I digress. Next.
Just not to the extent that the government is trying to like throw blame
Yes.
on it.
That's
Like
exactly what me I
Dario,
say.
dancehall and
That's
dancehall
hey,
alone.
exactly
Like
it,
like
Dario.
I
Not
told,
to
like
dancehall
I,
is the
them to
reason
the
for all
say,
our
wait,
crime.
not go
We
so.
need to change our music. Oh
Fuck
my
that.
god! Like
Fuck that. Fuck that.
yo,
Fuck that.
oi,
I hold
if
on,
I,
hold on,
oi,
Dario. I believe in balance still in Dario. If
balance,
this is the opportunity for balance out the music, I say go for it. But at the same time, to sit
they're
back
not
and say,
balancing out the
oh,
music though. That's the issue.
huh?
But they're not trying to balance the music. They're just trying to throw blame. They just want a scapegoat.
Yeah, yeah, but
Cause dancehall did
yeah,
not bring in
he
goods
who have
into
sense
Jamaica.
on it. Hold on. Oh,
oh,
yes, sorry.
we all know who did that, but we
At
won't go
least not
there.
initially.
We won't go there. No, we won't go there tonight. Not tonight.
But I can say this, gentlemen. I can say this. I believe there should be balance in music, though. I really do. Like, and honestly, I think give people a choice, they will choose. And this is what I believe. If Andrew only truly want challenge this thing, you see, every youth under the age of 25, them never say jail. You know what I'm say? Upper camp The one up Swallowfield. Hello, we come again.
Hello,
One
well.
of Manchester. Oh God, man. You see, every man under 25 who is badness and bad that backstone teeth chain. You see, when you're done with them, once you're done with them, you're done. When they finally return back to society, they are well trained men. You break them and turn them into actual citizens. We're gonna come back and say, yo, bossy. You see that 2.5 years some of them send me for all well done. Nah tell lie done. First year and a half done, them put you well. Spit blood 12, 20 times. Broke out 2, 3. You understand me? But at the end of the day, he can say it turned him into a citizen. Him start a business. Him gone back to school. You understand me?
Topic number 3.
And remember, this is just one idea. This is just one idea. And you're trying to see how fast the crime, and to all of those who have record, right? It's when they send them to all of them camp here. And believe me, we're not talking about just push them to a program and it done this. So we're talking psychological. Oh God, man. Government really wanted this to be fixed. It could have been fixed. And when I say it's not rocket science, everybody who listens to this podcast can agree to what I say. Am I lying, gentlemen?
Can't say so.
What am I saying? Does it make sense to you? Tell me
Can't
if
say
I
I
don't.
disagree.
Thank
Of
you.
course it does. Of course, but when
And
has
it would
Jamaica?
work. And hold on, another some man them alone. This I go find out. This I go for the woman them. Oh, this I go for the girl them who act up. And I believe say them big woman already and them know them life and not go so. When you go that camp for that same 2.5 years, because we believe in equality. You see, when you survive that 2.5 years, which you will, you are going to come back as ladies, women, visionaries, women who understand themselves. And the same rules apply, 25 and under. Oh God, society would have changed so drastically. People would have skill. The skills fraction of Jamaica would have bloom. So if the 2.5 years, you have to get a trade. It's mandatory with it. You can't leave the program and don't have a trade. You understand me? And on top of it, if you wipe them record, the one them who not do like no serious crime, like minor theft and anything there, the one them who pass the line long time now. Or for like minor theft things where that make them can't get a job. Or make them can't get a visa or so forth. You understand me?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Give them a fighting chance. So when it all said and done, we can say, boy, I'm not tell you done. 22 years, but waste my life in the down. You know, out of jail and then I murder man and I go to prison and I get beat up and I get, you understand? And the government put in a new program and big man thing charge. Now tell you, change my life. You understand? Him come out as a man who can do steel work and gone at Trinidad, go build a house. You understand me? I try to say? And make your money and come back and invest in Jamaica. Oh my flipping God, are you serious? This shit could have been fixed. I'm lazy than just flipping lazy.
Pastor.
Full of shit like
Calm down.
crap, yo.
Pastor.
I'm sorry.
Pastor.
What?
Deep breath.
Say this is what I don't get. Every time Bradshaw talk the truth, he apologizes. Brother, stop apologizing. You talk the
No,
truth.
apologize.
Oh, but because me I get my feelings done and I start
No, I just
show.
know why your
But
blood
you have
pressure raised
every
because you
reason
sound
to
like
be
your
in your
blood pressure
feelings,
raised.
bro.
No, because I fuckery that I'm sorry, but I fuckery. And you don't have to be super smart to figure this shit out. This could have been fixed.
Yeah, but we know
Yeah.
why they won't fix it. Before we know why they now fix it.
They don't want to, or they're being influenced not to.
No, influenced by who? You know what? Let's not even
We're not
go
going to
there.
go there.
Let's not go there. I'm not going to do this. Nope.
We're
Moving
gonna
on.
move. We're gonna move right along to
Oh.
talking point 3.
Before I forget.
Yeah.
Fuck you for what you just show me.
Is that
You
the
can't.
final point?
Hold
That
on,
be the
hold on.
final
Let me
point.
respond.
Are you
Let me
survey?
respond. Let me respond.
Okay.
You can't fuck me. I'm a boy.
What?
Ratchet don't pay any mind to him. He just a try to be an asshole.
Okay then.
Too much gay talk. All right. Excuse our language, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So talking point 3. I don't want to stay on this for too long.
Yeah, because it's one up here. It's almost one up here.
Yeah, I'm responsible to your work. So there's a different reason. The Miss Kitty Saga.
Oh my lord.
So, for those of you who don't know, or those of you who aren't Jamaican,
For those who don't care.
or
There
who
you
never
go.
care,
There you go. There you go.
no,
That's the one I
it
was
is filling
waiting
up my
for.
timeline and thing, and it's getting annoying. But so Miss Kitty is saying no, she's only dating a certain caliber of man, etc.,
Yes.
etc.
Yes.
And this dude said he went out on a date with her, spent 80 grand on the date, and I think he was disappointed, and he said he'd never go out with her again, something like that.
Okay.
And now people are in like
Uproar.
making uproars and like complaining, and I don't understand why they're complaining, because some of these guys are not in her caliber. And even,
There you go.
I don't know, first of all, Miss Kitty has worked, she's put in the work, and now she's literally at a place where she can say, without disrespect to anybody, that she will only date a certain level of man, a certain level of men, or a certain kind of men. She put
Yes.
in the work to get to that level, so now
Mhm.
she wants somebody on that level.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
May I ask a question?
Yeah,
How old is she?
30 little.
What?
30
What?
little, you say. Pause.
She's
Hold
older
on.
than 30 something.
Hold on.
Let me
I am
Google it.
this year I am 34 years old. Miss Kitty, older than me by at least 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sure she should reach 40 by now.
She's supposed in her 40s.
I'm
Take that into
Googling it because I don't
consideration.
know.
I'm just saying. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can want what you want.
Wait, gentlemen. Make sure so we have the right age, because we
Yeah,
don't want
exactly.
people.
Yeah, please
We
do.
don't want people
Yeah.
come in a way.
Because we're about to be analytical. We're going to be analytical. That's why we need to make sure we are factually correct, because I mean we're no experts. We are grown men.
All right.
She just recently
Let's be
turned 40.
honest.
Oh, so I know you want to come back in a
Let's
conversation. I know you want to
let's
come back.
be honest. Mr. Messenger, let's be honest. If a man were from him poor come up to him rich, decides to say him want a female at his level or higher or almost at his level, it's okay. A female worker asked her which one she done. She decides that she want. It's alright. If me poor and me wear my way up to be a millionaire, why the hell me I go take up somebody who just want me for my money? I go want somebody at my level too. So me no, I honestly don't. Me no like Miss Kid. Me not say me no like her. Some of my things I want to say, me not agree with. But that what she say, me totally agree with.
Majority
I
of bullshit.
totally agree with her.
Agree. That's a no, hold on. That's what I say. You can want what you want. I'm not saying no to that.
Exactly.
I'm not saying no. Yo, be honest with you, gentlemen. I'm being honest with you. When I become rich, and I didn't say if, I said when I become rich,
Mhm.
my wife has to look like money too. Even if she don't want to, she has to. You understand what the definition, the difference?
Facts.
She won't
Facts.
have a choice in the argument. She
Exactly.
has to. Because she's going to be representing my household, right?
Yeah,
Our
Dario.
household. I mean, am I wrong? What are you? I'm going in bed?
Oh, me just take a pot
He's
shot
just
at
picking
Dario.
on me because he's an asshole.
I mean, if I were, all right, all right, let me give you an example, right? Me and the wife literally had an argument once. I told her I wanted to buy her a solid gold ring, beautiful diamond, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm willing to work. And I mean, I just felt like she deserved that ring. I don't know why. And I wasn't simping on none of that crap. I just felt like she deserved it.
We know
So
them with it.
I buy her a proper ring, and she's like, no, this is okay. And I'm like, why not? I mean, it's my ring. Me tell her, I even went there, like, yo, it's my ring. Why wouldn't you want to wear my ring? And she's like, oh, it's okay. Like, I mean, if you buy me the ring, it's okay. But, like, personally, I wouldn't want you to waste the money. I was like, wow. You know the double standard in that statement? She doesn't think the same way all around. But when it comes to that ring that I want to give her, that's the problem. What kind of sense that make? She would like the money to do a lot of other things. But when it comes to the ring I want to give her, that's where the argument stands.
So waste the money shopping at Target or Macy's or Forever 21, but not on the one ring.
Yes. Oh my God. I almost lost my mind. So I'm like, yo, it's my money though. I mean, why wouldn't you wear it? I mean, yeah, I would wear it on occasion. We mean on occasions. You're supposed to never leave your finger. We mean on occasion.
Exactly.
Woman,
Right.
if me hear say it last, hold on.
Might as well just chop it off and done.
And I'm just about to tell you. Me say your ring finger have got missing with it. So when me look for your left hand, your ring finger chop off with the ring. Am I being unreasonable? Am I?
No, but if we flip the,
If we
flip the script.
Hold on. But yet some lady or some woman, some gentlewoman, young lady, I don't know what title you'll have. You'll listen to what I just said and be offended. Think, all right, put yourself in the man's shoes. You worked hard, you really love this man. You really love this guy. You spend your money and buy him a hell of a ring like an NFL player's ring. We know you don't never do that in real life, but I mean, this is a hypothetical, right? You spend near $2,000 on that ring, and he looks at you and say, he'll wear it every now and again. I mean, it's a nice ring, but you just want to wear it on occasions. You don't let him lose your flipping mind. You don't literally try kill him. Near $2,000 and this man won't wear a ring. You don't lose your mind. Men think the same way. The only difference is we just won't beg. Well. Let me rephrase that.
I knew what you were going to say.
Let me rephrase that. A level-headed, intellectually grounded man will never put him hands on you. I wish I could say that for all my brothers, but every man mentality is as strong as ours. You understand me? I don't believe a man put a man on a woman just so. You understand me? The only time I put my hand on you is either love making or me I teach you
self-defense.
Or me I teach you self-defense. Yeah.
Yes, Dario, we know you like to slap the booty.
I try to teach my wife self-defense. Listen to this, You say if a female attack me, I defend myself, so I stop the shit out her.
Again, self-defense. Again, self-defense. Again, self-defense.
I think we need to have the strong possibility that we're gonna have to visit Rajiv in our GSL one of the years because
It's easier to help him hide the
Put me in
body.
a jail cell for what?
I beg you, start
What me
record
do?
now. And for
To
everybody's
defend
sake,
myself?
too, hold
Really?
on. Huh?
I'm not saying nothing, Rajiv. I'm just saying that we might have to just visit the United DSL every now and again because,
They
you know,
can't visit me if I defend myself, brother. If a female attack me, I slap the shit out her, you can't blame me for defend myself.
I
That's
know we are
self-defense,
blame.
that's not abuse.
We not blame. I know.
Self-defense.
But remember, the
But
people,
we're
there
not the
is
judge society is. So anyway, we're
hold on.
going off track.
There is levels to that thing, because clearly, if my wife is coming at me open-handed, I am not going to go full black belt mode. That be, oh my God,
No. You realize I never say my wife? You realize I never say
Now
my
poke,
wife
now
or
joke her now,
girlfriend?
I'm poking her in the eye.
Hey,
I
I
just,
didn't say my
yo,
wife or girlfriend.
Dario,
I said a
tackle
female.
her as softly as possible.
I'm poking
Yes.
her in the eye.
Because
Tackle her
first
as
of all,
softly as
first of
possible.
all,
Oh,
first of
Oh
all,
my
I'm not
God.
gonna do it no mad somebody that attack me.
I am
Well,
You get
poking
me?
her in the eye. I'm spiteful like
So
that.
if a female
hold
attack me, I
on.
slap the shit out of her.
There's a thing God blessed women with called a period. You see, when that thing is quite active, sir, there's a law that defends
A
women.
good thing man unlock the secret code for that, my good.
I'm not saying there's a law that defends them. That if I'm not, I don't think I should repeat it because I don't want to give certain people any ideas, but they're protected. Just leave it at that. I'm just saying.
And me say, I unlock the code for that. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm safe.
Okay, my boy. I like that. I like that. Man has a plan B for that. You know what I mean?
Rajiv,
Good.
our plan B, C, D, figure to the
Which
man
is
upon
right.
survival
Which is right.
mode.
Which is right. Oh my God. Which
I have a
is
plan
right.
A to Z, so you can't skip
Oh
it, yeah?
God.
Alright, Pascal. One back asleep. And the man at the same time.
Mm.
But back on topic, brother,
Mhm.
honestly, I don't want to sound as if I despise this woman because I don't. Her views on certain things gives me Derek Jackson pneumonia, if I can call it that.
Her, okay, so her narratives are Derek Jackson-esque.
Aren't they? I mean, think about.
Some, not all.
Yeah, but look on who she panders to, her audience, who she panders to. Young,
Alright, my
nonsensical,
only issue with
delusional
her
Jamaican
is
females.
she has some hurt and some bitterness in it because a lot of times I've seen clips. I don't really watch her, but I've seen clips. She will start off, and what she's saying makes sense, and it's actually good advice. But then she gets hype and emotional, and then she kind of goes off tangent, and then she starts to become a bit unrealistic in what she's saying.
I
What are you
don't want.
talking about? On your TKO?
No, no, same Miss Kitty, but she's similar to
Oh,
Tana TKO.
And I don't want her fans, especially Miss Natori Passenger, to come for us because
mm,
Natori
No,
is
not
a
always still listens to everything that she say with a grain of salt.
which is right.
yeah,
That's the best approach.
sure.
Because
But
as I said, she will actually start off good, but then she will get like really hype, and then she becomes like a Derek Jackson.
Yeah. A
look,
ponderer.
she
No,
gives good advice most of the time, but why she tips the scales a lot. Like she will
She hits
did
what?
she tips the scales a lot. Like, I mean, like she will did it on the positive side, and she will like be equal, and then somehow she just shift immediately and boom, negative. But I mean that's all there is to it. I mean, personally, I don't really give a shit about a man who wants to waste $80,000 on Miss Kitty. I mean, if he's a
I
dumbass,
mean, personally,
I guess.
I believe if when I get rich, I'm not gonna waste 80 grand on a first date. I
First
would
of
not spend 80
first
grand
of
on myself
first of all, 80
like
grand.
that.
First of all, 80 grand on a Jamaican celebrity. Make that sink in for a second.
That's what 600 US.
Bruh, I doubt I would even use $8,000 to do anything that didn't technically make sense. And this man wastes $8,000 for Miss Kitty.
I'm straight.
Bruh, if you don't know the type of women that are in Jamaica, I think you need to save your money and invest it in something worthwhile.
Stocks. And I for one I'm going to be investing for my daughter. I believe I should give her a fighting chance. By the time she hits 20, she can do what she feel and not feel like she has to run into, she'll have enough leverage in her own life that she can explore other countries. This is how I'm thinking as a father. Forgive me. So every man is what.
Sorry, at the current exchange rate, this is how much USD spent.
But no, here's the thing no.
Oh, Tony said hi.
Hi, Tony.
Hello.
So yeah, like I would say that the guy is also at fault for spending 80 grand on a first date. I mean,
Dario,
just why?
This man spent 80 grand for Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty.
You're saying like she's a bad person?
No. Think about it. A Jamaican celebrity, a woman who is famous in the country, and you could blast. Brother, if I went Shense or any other female in Jamaica, the man do it for mother still a cost.
You know, I wanted to say Shensia because I like Shensia, but I thought you guys would judge me.
Why?
Why?
I don't. Shensia is just cute as fuck.
Bro, I know this is off topic, but this is all Jada Shensia war. It's complete bullshit to me. It makes no sense, but I digress.
It's just to build hype for their music.
No, our fans them take it out of proportion. I remember one time when the girl mother did them about Shensia sacrifice her mother. I'm like, how dumb are you motherfuckers? How dumb can you be to say something like that? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, before I get any more heated, next topic.
Hello.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, next topic.
Oh, Dario.
What?
Next topic. After
I'm calculating Miss Kitty's age.
Why? She was born 1981. That's what I read, at least.
Okay.
I thought she was 40.
She way over 40.
She's 40 exactly.
Oh, my bad.
You know, I thought for a second, Bradshaw said she weighs over 40, and I was just like, you know what?
Oh, this guy wants to get me into trouble.
Why am I like this? You know what I mean? Need to stop.
Why are you trying to get me into trouble, sir? What have I done to you?
No, I said I'm sorry.
But I mean, like, a lot of the people who are even complaining. First of all, you're not attracted. The men, not even people. Well, it's few women, but men. One, you're too broke. You're not in her tax bracket. So don't worry about dating her. You're not in her tax bracket, so you won't get the chance. More than likely. Two, you're probably not even attracted to her. Whether it be for physical reasons or personality reasons. 3, even if you were that rich, you're probably too cheap to spend 80 grand or too sensible to spend 80 grand on a first. As I said, most men are not going to spend 80 grand on themselves for one dinner.
Let alone a celebrity.
Celebrity or not, celebrity is just her job. I would spend that on my mom for her birthday or something like that. But remember, on a first date, you're literally a stranger who I find physically attractive. Nothing more.
Until further notice.
Exactly. Am I going to spend 80 grand on a stranger?
No.
Which idiot is going to do that?
Even though that 80 grand is like what, like $60 US? No.
500.
Even then, as hold on, how much?
500 and add US.
Wow, eighty
At
thousand.
the current exchange rate.
I 150 reach no more.
154.
154.
Or 150, yeah. Depending on where you go.
Shoot, but wow. But anywho,
500 plus. 500 plus.
so bam, carry the zero. Hmm. Yeah, you about right. Well, not five. That'll be six. Near six. No, five. Somewhere in the gap.
I calculated it at 554, so
All right, there you go.
154, yeah, so that's what I get. But anyway,
Mhm. Yeah,
like who's going to spend that much on a
not
first date?
me. Not me.
No sensible man.
I don't know you like that. I don't know you like that.
Unless Pum Pum was
You are
guaranteed.
girlfriend. You are
No, or hold on.
qualified girl.
Not
No,
even
I'm
for
gonna say
that,
this.
Dario.
I'm gonna be blunt. Don't go there.
No, Mr. Not no, Mr. Not even for the pum pum.
No, it has to be like a weekend of Pum Pum guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be like an escort service. And like a week long worth of it. For
Then we
one night, for just a
then
date?
we
No.
then we take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
For just a date? For just to feed you? You're not my child?
To entertain you
Yeah,
too.
don't do it. And I have to be funny and witty in the conversation?
Yes. And you also have to hit all the check marks that she's looking for. And this is where I believe this thing goes to hell. Because you want everything without giving up anything. It doesn't work. Especially if a man has that kind of money to be balling, and the man's like, yo, waste some money.
But Miss Kitty also said that he's lying and they didn't go out on the date, or he didn't spend that much on the date.
Right. So kind of man will tell you directly to your face how much him spend, don't mean say he didn't spend it. You might estimate that's what he spent. You don't know what him. And they say, well,
My nigga said him surprised she eat so much food. But I don't know if he was trying to be disrespectful or if he's just being real. I don't know.
Right, that clearly sounds petty. Like
But him look like an idiot for spending 80 grand on a stranger who he finds physically attractive. Let him go back. It would have been cheaper and better to go back road.
remember it's a back road?
No, I said he looks like a simp and an idiot to spend 80 grand on a stranger who he finds attractive. It would have been more economical and easier to go to back road.
Hell yeah. Cheaper too.
And that's not even a joke or an opinion, that's a fact.
That's a problem too. And honestly, I used to hate when I heard, oh, back road this, oh, back road is so immoral. And I'm like,
Yeah, but what's the difference though?
exactly. That's the part which you see, and that's the part most people don't look on it.
Alright,
Brother,
I'm going to draw for Kevin Samuels reference again. So this is a 2-minute clip
uh-huh.
where he was talking to a girl and she was saying, oh, she's 25 and she goes out on at least 3 dates a week. And like all the guys that she goes out, we just want to have sex with her as quick by the third date or by on the first date, and then they just forget about her. So he's like, okay, cool. And then she asks, why do they do that? And I'm like, why can't they just? And her question was, why can't they just get to know her? So he's like, hold on, do you have friends? She says yes. Do your friends take you out on dates and pay hundreds of dollars just to eat, just to feed you and get to know you? Tell me which one of your friends have ever done that, or which one of your friends have you ever done that to? She says none. She said, well, that's all dated is. They want you to drop your drawers. There's no way he's going to go through all that effort. It has to be witty and funny. Has to tick your little check boxes, spend money to feed you. When he's not obligated to. You're not his daughter. You're not his wife
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Just to get to know you. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
How would that? If it was you paying for the dates, would it make sense to you?
Hell no.
But just
I think.
because you're the
Mm-hmm.
one receiving, you want it. You want it. It's like you want the world to revolve around you
Mm-hmm. And it's
in
ironic.
all aspects.
Mm-hmm. It's
No,
ironic.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
And the man is just like, sis, think. And she's just so dumbfounded, like, but why can't they just be nice and just get to know me? Like, friends get to know you. Friends don't spend money on, and you're going out with the guy 3 times in 1 week. He's spending $100 on you 3 times in 1 week to get to. You can get to know each other. Oh, he also said you
Over
can
the
get to
phone.
know each other over a cup of coffee. That's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Or sitting in a park for free.
Mm-hmm.
And my girl just went dead silent, like, and she, and again, this is why I say women are more delusional and men are illusionists. Because again, when he's hitting her with these truths, it's like, I didn't know this. I thought this is how the world works. I thought the world revolves around me. Why is it not revolving around? And again, whenever he points out these things to a man, it's like the
Yeah.
man says, yes, I know the world doesn't revolve around me. I was just hoping that you didn't know.
Yep.
Full time
And
now, people.
And I
Full
think
time now,
that's
people.
all.
Full time people have sense now still. Really and truly. Full time now, some people grow up.
Having
all the
sense
men have sense, it's
is
just
a
the
heavy
women.
burden to bear. Having sense is a very heavy burden to bear.
Having sense is hard to do in a world of people who not have none. And life is harder when you have ambition.
Yep.
Wait, just remember, something I'm supposed to talk about something.
When my monologue was too long, I forget.
No, something more personal. No, I did say me I talk about something. I try to remember what. Continue
This
though.
is why you're supposed to have your pen and pad and write it down, sir.
No, I know what it is. Because I try to remember, make sure I'm not telling a lie. Because you know how things go when you say certain
Okay,
things and
okay,
then,
okay.
you know?
Understood.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, that was the end of my monologue. I'm gonna chat.
There are means and ways to spend a date than spending money on someone, to be honest. I mean, I've done it for years. And I can't say I'm cheap. Anybody want me there with. When I wasn't working, to find a way to do something.
Boy, I can't say me cheap.
No,
Sometimes,
Daryl, we know you're up there in the upper echelons. We know.
no, I don't know. In upper echelon, is just that, like, once I like it, I will try to go above and beyond. I will save and just try do some extravagant, unnecessary shit just because that's who I am and because I like you that much.
So where does the narcissism fall into all of that?
No, wait, narcissism?
Who?
The
Yeah,
narcissism
no,
or
the
the
narcissism is not there.
overthinking. Which one? I think it's overthinking and the anxiety and the heart attacks. I'm
There's
sorry.
You
no
just
heart attacks involved.
Yet,
The narcissism is early stages just to see. Alright. You see, once I realize I can't manipulate a woman, that is when the relationship begins. Because once
nice.
as dark as
Nice.
it sounds,
Nice. No,
no,
you're lucky. Me say nice. Honestly, and any woman that hears that should be proud. Because think about this. If he can't manipulate you, you're off on a good start. Think about it.
that is when I actually develop feelings for you, for
There
a
you
woman.
go. That's not bad. Well, I mean, every man perception different. I'm sorry, but the man has a point. Just saying.
And
People,
women will hear me say this and fear me, but hear a man say whisper sweet nothings in her ear
oh yeah.
and gravitate towards that because I am a dark and harsh truth, but they prefer sweet lies.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what
At
makes
least I
them.
know what the hell is wrong with me, and I tell you up front, hey, these are my these are my shortcomings, these are my issues. But yeah,
When you express what's wrong with you, it doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to play that deeply into the relationship. It just means
exactly.
that to work with it, bro.
It's like this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm fixing, and this is what
I
to look out
know the
for.
double standard I have a problem with. Women expect you to take the burden of all their baggage and issues, and you must be
Mhm.
the king simp
Nope.
and
They
raise
don't
your
do
flag
that.
like Superman and say, "Yo, I will save you, my dear." But when it comes to you to
Knight
be with
in
your,
shining armor. You ever heard that term?
yep,
Mm-hmm.
Disney syndrome. Ever heard that term? Sorry,
Yes.
Disney princess syndrome. Ever heard that term?
Dignification
Yes.
of the world is at hand, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
As my mother said, we have the gift of goodbye, and I like being single, so I will head for the hills if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
I like being alone. I love answering to me and only me, even though I have
Good
a
for
little one cat
you.
I'm like. But as
Good
I
for you, bro.
digress,
He said
Good
like,
for you. Good for you.
like, sorry,
Good for you.
forgive
brother.
me.
You know, so make you Rajiv and Loans, you are gonna start pressure me, you know.
Loans?
You're a
Loans
decent
are
boy.
loans are pressure?
I used to pressure Loans when he was single, so he my pressure
For
me, you know.
loans married, we can't hear him again.
No
Life
man,
must
I still
proceed.
hear from Loans.
No, me trouble loans. Loans say, yeah man, so married man no.
That's how it going, bro. You have to cheer on people and until it's your time on the podium, you know.
Yeah, that Dario, yeah, that's a match here on. Go, now we go. Oh,
The hate is real.
oh my
The
god.
hate is so real. The
Mm.
hate is so real.
Mm.
So real.
Mm. Feel
Hey,
it now.
The hate, all the hate. Just
Xavier wins.
but yeah, so what about like 10 minutes?
Oh, we have one more topic or with
No, we're not gonna go to the next topic. Well, we don't really want to go deep in the next topic
because that's
because
up
there
next.
was some lighter stuff to talk about.
Oh,
And we're kind of going to some other things next week, like should men moan during sex? Don't speak on it yet. Next week,
oh, sure,
That,
men
sure.
being the little spoon when cuddling.
my
Them
wife
little.
is commenting on your topic, sir.
Yo,
So I want to
Should
tell
I
her.
say
yo,
something?
oh, yeah, wake up now. Your piece of. Mm.
He's watching anime. I can bet.
No,
But
honestly, me
yeah.
not watch anime like
So
me not
men
out of
should
sleep.
moan during sex. Men being the small spoon when cuddling.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this
What's the
now, Dario.
craziest thing you've ever done for love?
Yo,
And
yo,
how do
if
you
you know I'm
define
one for the girl
your
doing sex, me do
soulmate?
all I'm one for me. Yeah.
Yo, tapping out for you. You talk to. Yo, yeah, commentator.
You heard what I said?
You the man, sir.
Sure.
Me,
You the
me
man, dear
moaning
son.
on the girl ears.
Should I repeat again, or you heard what I said?
Some might.
Okay, so men moaning during sex, men being little spoon when cuddling or stuff like that. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for love? And how do you define your soulmate? And I mean the characteristics, not the physical characteristics, like personality and character wise
Okay.
and qualities. Oh, and work a week after that, we want to go into certain things like some feminism stuff, like debunking certain feminism ideologies, uh, clarifying submission versus control, Because a lot of women have an issue with that. They think once you submit to a man, you're supposed to be his slave. But
Oh,
for next
and
time.
I think we should announce that we may have two special guests next week, hopefully.
Woo! Special guest, special guest, special
Uh,
guest.
yeah, I kind of remember what I wanted to talk about because I think I was alluding to it last week. Bradshaw knows a bit about it because we actually spoke about it. Yeah, so a little olive branch for the ladies who think that I'm just here debunking everything that's wrong with women per se. So while I've been here and just there, really I like to take the side of saying that Rajiv, alright, yeah. Anyways, before we lose my train of thought, when I say it takes two persons to make sure a relationship is whole, I mean that both literally and figuratively because relationships can go bad, and when they go bad, people do a lot of things to their partners and want to play victim, which was the case in my previous relationship. I won't call her name, don't need to. If she sees a clip of this and she wants to comment and say anything under it and debunk anything I say, be my guest. But I'll be the first man to put up my hand. First time I have sex, not like a left, yeah, flop, flop, yes, flop. I admit that. Why? Anxious, nervous. And I think that's a normal trait to have when you want to do something to please someone. But people will have you believe that, oh, you should be perfect. The same Disneyfication bullshit. You must be perfect at everything you do for the first time. Last time I checked, when I just started playing rugby, the amount of time I drop ball, the amount of time I'm afraid for tackle, the amount of time I'm afraid for just do. Even now, it asked Dowie. Dowie said to me yesterday, I still an overthink when I'm up on the field. It's just that common thing that I need to get rid of. But as usual, you have people who want to work with you to build. You have people who give up on you at a moment's notice. She fell into the latter category. Yes, I get burned, but when I look back at it, was slightly undeserved. I mean, well, before me even say yo, me get burned. Here's what happened the first time. They at college, they talk to her on the phone, and she did get fucked by the next man while we are talk. True story. When she told me, I think my face was so blank, like it wasn't hurt or anything. It was just like, wow, you're that cold. I'm like, bro. So okay. So eventually, we decided she made this decision that maybe we should be in an open relationship, and I'm like, you're already basically dinner one, but okay, cool. So I decided to find somebody else. I mean, I did. The experience was much better. I enjoyed my time. And I generally told this person, and she listened, and she said, yo, your girlfriend sounds like a real bitch. I'm going to say, yeah, but being the simp that I was, I still loved her for some reason. Because I couldn't see anything that could end wrong. And eventually, when we broke up over one of the most nonsensical things. Like, when you bring a girl back to your place and like there's nobody there, like your father literally make every possible scenario for you say, yo, start out where you start out. Nothing not gonna stop you. But because she didn't hear it from my father, it was a problem. That time me literally tell her, I said, yo, if you want to walk out into the dead of night, we were speaking about 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's say if you want to walk out in the dead of night, I make somebody take you and rape you. Be my guest, because me and I look for you after this. And I think that was weird, the downward spiral of my little I won't say fuckboy moment, but after that, me never really changed. I was just decided to build myself and understand what went wrong during that relationship. To be honest, at first, yeah, I despise her. Come and say, yo, what she doing unwarranted. If she never pleased, she could have just say, yo, this is not what I want and just cut. But she continually just did that flame me along. But then I blame myself and me should have realized as a man, you have to see certain signs. You can't fool yourself and say, yo, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that and blame the whole world for your problems. But
Agreed.
it taught me one thing that you have to be ready for anything. And that sometimes, as much as people might think this is wrong, bad things happen to good people. Probably
Mm-hmm.
more so than any bad person. But what?
Mm-hmm.
You're mature and strong enough, you will come out at the deep end. I can say for myself, I'm far better now. She, to be honest, I couldn't give a shit. She could have get hit by a truck now.
Okay. Okay.
To be honest, I would feel away, but honestly, it is what it is.
Bring it
Was it
down.
politically correct for me to laugh just now?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I don't really mean that. You can't tell me not mean that, but
Wow.
But she commented
Alright, guys.
underneath one of the videos them, and I know what I ID video them. Tell you, but that's just my take.
Okay. Continue.
So Rajiv,
Rajiv is fading in and out of sleep, and he's just popping in and just saying like some one-word things and just.
Mm-hmm. And goes right back off.
I'm saying,
Rajiv, I agree with you, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. So.
but yeah, like we don't really want to keep
Mm-hmm.
you guys too long because certain people have work tomorrow. I think
Yeah.
I'll put until Wednesday as usual.
Yeah.
So I forgot to download the list of the new people who joined the Facebook group. But thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Controversial Topics JA. Merchandise will be coming soon. Just letting you guys know. Doc, any closing remarks?
Just thank everyone for the support so far. Thanks for the feedback that I've gotten from some of our friends. They really like to enjoy the content. And don't take what we say at face value. Like, I might sound like an asshole most of the time, but I genuinely shut up. But I genuinely want us as black people to do better, to be better, and to thrive as I know we can. It hurt me every day to see argue with each other, of course, about some of the most nonsensical things and not going anywhere in life. We could be so much more. If you see togetherness, I learned that in rugby. All if I don't like a man, we have to be a team, and that is what we aren't. Everybody is for themselves. About you're my individual. Bullshit. So when we say certain things, it's not because we hate our people, but we want them to do better. That's all from me.
Gotcha.
Well, he kind of summed it up. With more or less angry words, but yeah, he pretty much summed it up as well for me. I want us to, get along. I have a child. She's black. I would like her to find a nice black man at one point. I'm not a simp, not someone that she will dominate. And this is coming from a man, for crying out loud. What I said to you. And normally fathers are supposed to be the one like, oh my God, my baby. No, I'm more terrified for my baby nowadays. I am more terrified for my daughter because what I see as a father, me not like. I don't like. I don't like. And then I'm supposed to be okay with that? I mean, women have standards. Why can't a man? A certain man can knock on my door saying, come take out my daughter. Your pants hanging off your ass. Oh my lord. So I'm just saying, to every man his own. Just at some point, my daughter will join this dating world. And I would like her to find someone worth her time and effort. That's why I'm taking the effort to make sure that she's raised correctly. So that's my point. I want Black people together. At the end of the day, we're all we have. And we need to start thinking that way. And that's my final words.
Well said, well said.
Well said. Sleeping Beauty. Oh, sorry, Rajiv.
An asshole to the end.
Okay, well, I guess he is still sleeping.
For the count.
I don't think I have any closing remarks for this week. I just want to again thank everybody who is listening for all the support locally and abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Tiana and Naomi, everybody on Facebook. I apologize again for not getting the list so I could like shout you guys out individually. But thank you again. Please continue the listening. Have your friends listen, and yeah, God bless and be awesome.
Yeah. Remember,
For those who are not
follow us on
Christian, be
IG.
awesome. For those who are, God bless.
Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't know how the steps were already. And everybody just keep safe. Keep safe.
Mm-hmm.
Life doesn't stop because of COVID, but
Comment on the video. Do I genuinely have an accent when I speak?
I'm not gonna
Like,
answer
do I
that.
sound non-Jamaican when I speak?
Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah, to some people you do, but not to us.
Or is it that just certain words are pronounced differently?
Maybe.
Oh, you mean you say it as you were taught?
Apparently, I say certain words with an accent, or sometimes it sounds like I have an accent.
Mm. All right. Okay. Oh.
But yeah, I think we've come to the end of our podcast, gentlemen. I do hope you all have a brilliant morning later on. I know my trading starts today at 6, so yeah.
Take care.
Bless up on yourself. Respect.